So, uh, in paper 1, Microtechnique, Bioinformatics and Biostatistics, semester 6, the feedback link it is provided to the student that if any doubts are there, that doubts can be cleared by remedial coaching classes. Now, one of the student, Purva Devangan, she sent the message that, sir, particularly stains and double staining. What is a double staining procedure is there? So this topic should be repeated, or we can say explained. So I am taking this particularly topic for remedial coaching classes. So if doubts are there, that can be cleared. That should be get cleared. So our topic, today's topic for remedial coaching class is stain, double staining, and their procedure. So what is a stain? So classification of stains are there, and in classification of stains, particularly, what is the stain? Natural stain, synthetic stain, moderns are there. So what is the stain? Staining of the tissue is necessary. Staining of the tissue is necessary because most of them becomes almost transparent. These cells or the tissues, they are transparent. In live condition, they are transparent. It has to be stained for differentiation in the color. And with the help of microscope, we are able to distinguish, differentiate, and identify nucleus, cytoplasm, their organelles with the help of these stains. Do not retain enough color to be visible under microscope. These particular tissues, they do not have particular color or transparent structures are there. If we are applying the stains, then there is a differentiation in a nucleus, cytoplasm, and easily can be distinguished or differentiate in the microscope. Stains not only make the tissue visible, but also play an important role in identifying different tissues, their cell types, and help in pathological diagnosis. So these particularly stains, they are helping the tissue in differentiating different two types of the tissue, or help in pathological diagnosis. Help in pathological diagnosis. Now, classification of the stains. In the classification of the stains, dyes are color organic compound. Any dye or any color, any dye or any color, when it is applied to the tissue, then it is known as stain. Dyes which are applied to the cloth, they are known as dye. But dyes which are applied to the tissue, then it is known as stains. Dyes are the colored organic compound containing chromophoric and oxochromic group. Chromophoric group gives the coloring property, and oxochromic group is responsible of attachment of the dye to the tissue. Two types of parts are there of the dye, that is chromophoric and oxochromic. Chromophoric part, it is a color property, and oxochromic part, it is a attachment property. So with the help of this chromophoric and oxochromic group, particularly dye or the stain, it is attaching to the tissue, there is a property that how the dye or the stain, it is attaching to the tissue surface, the cytoplasm, the plasma membrane. Then there will be appearance of a particular stain. Then natural dyes. पहला है natural dyes, hematoxylin. It is a chromogen extracted from logwood tree, Caesalpinia, hematoxylin Caesalpinia, or hematoxylin campesianum. It is the name of the tree and is one of the most important of all stain because it is a nuclear stain. Hematoxylin solution itself has little or no staining property. It has little or no staining property, but when it is oxidized, it becomes ripened and then it takes the stain to the nucleus. This ripening, it is done by oxidation 3 to 6 weeks in sunlight, 3 to 6 weeks in sunlight, or artificial oxidizing agents can be added. These artificial oxidizing agents are potassium permanganate, sodium iodide. Ripened hematoxylin potassium loses 2 hydrogen atoms to becomes hematine, which has phenode arrangement. Hematine or ripened hematoxylin has little affinity to the tissue constitution if used alone and requires a mordant. We know that if you are studying in the chemistry, that is the alum. So now these mordants are the alums. Mordants are used along with this hematoxylin, and these alums are salt of aluminium, potassium, and iron. These are known as alum, and these alums are known as mordant. Mordants have efficiency to increase the attachment of the dye or a stain to the tissue, or it forms the, we can say, clay, or it is a form of bridge between the stain and the tissue. Mordants have a property to forms a bridge between tissue and the particularly the stain. Then cochineal or carmine. Cochineal is obtained from the female cochineal insect Coccus cacti. अब ये नेचुरल स्टेन में दो है, पहला है हेमाटोजाइलिन, दूसरा है cochineal and carmine. Now this cochineal is obtained from the female cochineal insect Coccus cacti. This dye itself has little affinity with the tissue unless some mordant has attachment, that is iron, aluminium, and some other metal is added to it. If cochineal separately applied to the tissue, it will not take the stain. We have to add the mordant. We have to add the alum. And after adding alum or the metals to this, then there is a property of taking the stain to the tissue. Then carmine is obtained by adding alum to cochineal. Cochineal के अंदर अगर alum डालते हैं तो वो कार्मिन बन जाता है. कोकिनियल के अंदर अगर कार्मिन एलम डालते हैं तो वो कार्मिन बन जाता है. उसके बाद है कार्मिन इज ओनली स्लाइटली soluble in neutral water and usually used in strongly acidic or alkaline solution. It is also required a mordant like cochineal. cochineal के जैसा ही कार्मिन में मॉडर्न की जरूरत होती है. Then synthetic dyes. Synthetic dyes are coal tar dyes are commonly classified into 3 types: acid stain, basic stain, and neutral stain. Acid stain are anionic stain. Particularly the acids in acid stain, their acidic compound is colored, whereas the basic is colorless. Acid stain में acid component वो color होता है, and it take the stain to the basic part of the cell. Acid stain in which the acidic part or acidic component is colored, whereas basic is colorless, and it takes the stain to the basic part of the cell. Basic stain का कैसा रहेगा? Basic part of the stain is color and acidic part of the stain is colorless. And this basic part of the stain, it will take the stain to the acid part of the cell. जैसे तुम्हारा न्यूक्लियस हो गया, न्यूक्लियस में हमारे डीएनए रहता है, डाइऑक्सीराइबोन्यूक्लिक एसिड. तो बेसिक स्टेन इट विल टेक टू द एसिडिक पार्ट and acid stain it will take to the basic part. Then neutral stain. With the sodium salt of an acid dye, chloride or basic dye are mixed. There is an interchange of ions which results in the formation of a neutral dye. This neutral dye, it is known as a Romanovsky stain. It will take the stain to the nucleus as well as cytoplasm. It will take the stain to the nucleus as well as cytoplasm. This neutral stain have property, both the property that it will take the acidic part, it will take the basic part. That's why it is known as neutral dye. Then the mordants. Mordants are metallic salt or hydroxide with combination with the dye radical to form an insoluble compound. The mordant forms a link between tissue and the stain. That I told you. Mordants are forming a link between tissue and the stain. The combination of dye with the mordant is called as lake. I use this word lake also, which is capable of attaching itself to the tissue. The term mordant is only applied to the salt and hydroxide of dye and trivalent metal and not to other substance which improves increasing action. There are number of advantages of mordant in tissue staining. The modern dye compound is relatively permanent, which is not soluble in neutral solution and can also follow many other forms of staining. For example, हेमाटोजाइलिन अगर हम लोग स्टेन लेते हैं तो हम उसको उसमें मॉर्डेंट यूज करते हैं. मॉर्डेंट्स में हम लोगों को मेटेलिक साल्ट और हाइड्रोक्साइड, these are used in the mordant and these are helping in forming of a lake, or they are helping in forming a bridge between a cell and the stain. They are making a lake. They are making a firm attachment of a stain to the particularly cell part. Then, for hematoxylin and carmine dye, commonly used mordants are aluminium, ferric, chromium salt, alum, potassium, aluminium, iron, chromium. These are the alum. Salts of particular metals are known as alum. And these alums are known to be a mordant using in attachment of the stain. The staining solution have mordant with little or no oxidizing action and can be kept indefinitely. But if solution is required for immediate use and no long life is needed, mordants are with a strong oxidizing agents are used. Oxidizing agents are used in the mordant. Oxidizing agents gives the oxidation of a stain. Mordants possess particularly the metal salt or oxides or hydroxides, and these are the metals salts are known to be alum, which act as a mordant. उसके बाद है arthrochromatic stain and metachromatic stain. Arthrochromatic stain are those whose action is direct and predictable. Under normal condition, if dye is red color, it will give the red color. If dye is red color, it will give the red color. Then it is known as arthrochromatic stain. If the dye is red color and it gives appearance to the blue color to the tissue, then it is known as metachromatic stain. उसके बाद है progressive and regressive staining. In progressive and regressive staining, if I am using the stain progressively, adding much amount of the stain progressively, and there is a first low staining, moderate staining, and accurate staining. So this is known as progressive staining. I will put the tissue into the stain for 1 minute, then 2 minutes, then 4 minutes, then 6 minutes. In every minute or the time, there will be an addition of the stain to the tissue progressively. And धीरे धीरे addition of stain takes place. This is known as progressive. And another point is that regressive staining. I will put the tissue for 10 minutes directly. I will put the tissue for 10 minutes in the stain and then remove the stain stepwise. There is an acid water and alkali water. That addition of the stain and removal of the stain takes place with the help of acid water and we can say basic water. So this regressive stain, once your stain is occupied to the tissue, more amount that can be removed stepwise. That is known as regressive staining. Then the staining action. What is the theory behind this? The theory of staining includes both physical and chemical factors, which take parts in the mechanism of basic action of the stain. Physical as well as chemical factors are involving in the mechanism of basic action of the stain. The chemical theory is that absorption and diffusion by dye occur. there is an absorption of the stain, then we can say diffusion of the stain, penetrating the cellular element are and combining with them. Stains are penetrating through the plasma membrane, then it goes to the cytoplasm, then it goes to the nucleus. That is known to be a penetrating the cellular element and combine with them. This chemical reaction combined with physical action where the minute particle of the dye are deposited over the surface of the tissue by selective adsorption. Absorption is different and selective adsorption is different. A smaller molecules of the stain, they are attaching to the surface of the cytoplasm or nucleus, component of the cytoplasm or nucleus. This attachment is known as adsorption. The staining property of the stain depends on the two factors: strength of the dye, rate of ionization of the tissue protein and dye, and pH value, dye solution and tissue protein. All these factors particularly affect the staining. I told you, if you are able to stain the tissue by trial and error method, every student, you will get the different staining procedure, you will get the different timing, you will get different results. One of the student will get the proper staining, another it will get over staining, another student will get less staining. So this is by trial and error method, there is a staining of a particular tissue takes place. Then double staining method, staining of paraffin section. We have the paraffin ribbon or the sections. These sections of any tissue are commonly stained with hematoxylin and counter stained with evosin. हमारे स्टेनिंग प्रोसीजर में, माइक्रोटेक्निक के स्टेनिंग प्रोसीजर में डबल स्टेनिंग है, एंड इन डबल स्टेनिंग देयर आर two different stains are used. One is a hematoxylin, which is a nuclear stain, and another is a evosin, which is a cytoplasmic stain. And when we are using these two stains, we have to arrange the jars of the staining jars of the different components. First two jars, they are of xylene 1, xylene 2. Then 100 ml alcohol, 90 ml alcohol, 70, 30, 50. All these graded series of alcohol, we have to put into the line. We can say low grade 100 to 30. यानी यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है, हाइड्रेशन हो रहा है. 100, 90, 70, 50, 30. Stepwise addition of water to the tissue takes place. What about the xylene 1 and xylene 2? The xylene 1 and xylene 2, they are doing their job by removing the excess or amount of the wax. We require only the tissue for staining. We don't require the paraffin wax. So there, these paraffin wax are removed. And after removing this paraffin wax, we have to add particularly these slides into the xylene 1 and xylene 2. Then 100, 70, 90, 70, 50, 30. This is known as hydration because our hematoxylin stain is prepared in water. Prepared in water. That's why our tissue has to travel and reach to the hydration stage. Our tissue should possess the water. And like that, 100, 90, 70, 30, 50, 30, water, and then hematoxylin. After that, hematoxylin will take the stain to the nuclei. First of all, it will take to the nuclear stain because hematoxylin is a nuclear stain. Then again, upgrade series of alcohol. पहला था हाइड्रेशन, दूसरा था डिहाइड्रेशन. 30, 50, 70. 30, 50, 70% अल्कोहल में हम लोग टिश्यू को ट्रैवल कराएंगे और मिनट्स देंगे, 2 minutes, 3 minutes ऐसा. In 70% alcohol, when the tissue comes, in that evosin is prepared in 70% alcohol. So we have to keep the evosin nearby the 70% alcohol. After that, put that tissue into the evosin. The evosin will take the stain to the cytoplasm. And then 70, 90, 100 डिहाइड्रेशन हो जाएगा 100 में। उसके बाद xylene 1, xylene 2, like that our slide or our tissue is containing now nuclear stain hematoxylin and cytoplasmic stain eosin taking to the tissue simultaneously, double staining it is completed. This is known as procedure of staining, and in procedure of staining at a single traveling time you are getting 2 double stains. Hematoxylin stain taking to the nucleus and eosin stain taking to the cytoplasm. Okay. Now, what should be the precautions of the double staining? Allow complete deparaffinization in the xylene. I told you xylene 1, xylene 2 starting में भी रखना है और last में भी रखना है. So allow complete deparaffinization in xylene. Otherwise, traces of paraffin may interfere in your staining process. Never keep the slide in differentiating solution. एसिड अल्कोहल जो आपने जार बनाया है ओवर स्टेन डी स्टेन करने के लिए, उसको ज्यादा देर नहीं रखना है, अदरवाइज ऑल द स्टेन विल रिमूव. तो प्रोग्रेसिव और रिग्रेसिव स्टेनिंग में मैंने आपको बताया कि कैसे धीरे धीरे स्टेन को बढ़ाना है, कैसे धीरे धीरे स्टेन को कम करना है. दैट इज नोन एज प्रोग्रेसिव एंड रिग्रेसिव. डिहाइड्रेट द स्लाइड थरोली इन एब्सोल्यूट अल्कोहल. जब आप नीचे के इसमें जाते हैं, डिहाइड्रेशन करते हैं, 30, 50, 70 eosin, 70, 90, 100 xylene 1, xylene 2. There we have to dehydrate the tissue completely. Otherwise, on mounting in DPX, fogginess appears. On mounting in DPX, fogginess appears. If your dehydration is not completed, not properly done, then there is a fogginess appears in the around the tissue. In mounting of the DPX, ring appears around the section which subsequently spoiled the permanent slide. This is all about that, the stains and double staining and the precaution. There are the mechanism how to prepare the hematoxylin, how to prepare the eosin, that I'll also explain during the time of syllabus unit or syllabus topic. So in preparation of hematoxylin, in preparation of particularly eosin, particular composition has to be taken. Staining of paraffin section, preparation of Ehrlich hematoxylin stain, preparation of eosin stain, and procedure I told you. Precautions while double staining, ये भी मैंने आपको बताया हूँ. So all these points we have to take into consideration during double staining. This is a very nice suggestion from Purva Devangan, that she suggested through the link, sir, that this topic should be explained second time. And this is known to be a remedial coaching class. Okay. This is known to be a remedial coaching class. And in the remedial coaching class, if some doubts are there, you can share with me. अगर आपको कुछ क्वेश्चन है तो आप मुझे पूछ सकते हैं. Otherwise, I am ending this meeting. Okay.